We've had cars over 700 horsepower, we've had SUVs pushing more power than most supercars. And today, we've got one of the most underpowered but iconic cars ever made.
Most of you might know this for its legendary Tofu deliveries.
And if you don't, it might be just an old rust bucket to you.
Not any rust bucket, a legendary rust
But
bucket.
if you don't know, and you see this, people are gonna be like, an old corolla, and walk away.
So, to those of you that don't watch anime and live under a rock, including me, let me explain what makes this car so iconic.
The very first thing being the iconic pop-up headlights. Now these are better than the ones that Miata's get. I'm sorry Miata fanboys, but this is just better. And if you see one of these cars without the livery, you might not even recognize that. This is one of the very best Corollas they've made. Apart from the Tureno, but here, why do you call it a Corolla? It's a Tureno, my bad.
And if you're wondering what the livery says on the side, it says Fujiwara Tofu Shop for personal use.
And you get 15-inch alloys at the front and the back. Now the original car got 14 inches, but this was upgraded to 15, and honestly this does look better. Now as you can see, the car has a very short wheelbase because this car was perfected to go around the corners without any compromise, and that it does. If you don't know what this car is, this is just gonna be another old Corolla to you. But if you do know what this is gonna be running through your anime dreams all night. And what can I say other than this is literally an icon. You do get the Tureno livery here and the Apex Twin Cam 16 to resemble this car exactly as it is from the anime, which I haven't watched, but Kevin did. Sorry, fanboys. And you also get a very cool exhaust. I mean, this thing is literally an icon.
Well, after talking so highly of the car, you're probably wondering what's driving this car. Is it a V8? Is it a V6? Or what kind of powerful engine is this? Well,
it's a 1.6 liter twin cam engine which puts out a whopping 130 horsepower. Okay, that's way too much for this car. Anyway, let's talk about it. Now, this car wasn't made to do a quarter mile in sub 10 seconds. This car was made to go around the corner so fast that even our 34 GTRs couldn't keep up. This car obviously gets rear wheel drive because if it wasn't for rear wheel drive, we wouldn't know who Takumi is.
if you're like Gavin and have watched the anime, you're probably wondering how close this car resembles the real car. Guess what? Here's a few features that you will love about this.
Most of you would have thought the number plates in Dubai were special, but this is even more special. There might be a lot of AE86s, but there will be only one. If you've watched the proper anime, you would know why this cup is here for. It just helps you with cornering. And you also get a small replica. How cool is that?
So it's time for Gavin to shine as the anime fanboy and talk about the interior.
The interior, it's not much, but for a vehicle that is quite literally old, it is quite nice. And now there is features inside that replicate to the actual AE86 from the initial D, like the cup over here, the small replica, the car seat, and that's only if you're a true fan that you would know what it is. But I mean, for a vehicle that's almost 40 years old, I would say it's alright.
Now that the anime fanboy is out, someone who didn't watch the anime but watched the movie is in here. Sorry, Initial D fans, but let's talk about this. Now the seats are obviously upgraded. They are Recaro seats and they do look cool. And the interior, now it's a two-tone brown interior. It does look quite amazing. And given that the exterior is well two-tone as well, it definitely matches the vibe. And if you look at the the instrumental cluster, it's fully analog because this car, like Gavin said, is over 40 years old. And one thing I do love is the old AC controls. I'm not gonna fiddle around it with much because this is an old car, and 5-speed gearbox, handbrake here because but oh my god, what an amazing car. I mean, the owner has put in so much love into this car, and you can literally tell by sitting here because this looks very well maintained. And you get, like, literally, you get the initial D paper cup. I did that. I lifted a paper cup on it. AE86, and like Gavin said before, you get the Tofu replica as well. But what an interior. It does look quite cool. We're not going to test the back seats because Takumi didn't have anything. but Tofu back there. Took me too long. I'm gonna get killed.
And final thoughts of the Trueno AE86.
You can start.
Out of 10, I would have to give this 11.5.
He's been giving 11.5 the whole Melbourne trip.
Obviously a 10.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we haven't given like a DDPR and stuff like that. But this vehicle is, I mean, it has its issues. I would say like slow suspension, but
Talk about the final thoughts of the R35 GTR. Kevin, do you want to start?
yes, this is gonna be a tough one, but it's gonna be tough. Yeah, this is perfect. This is one of my dream cars. I will buy this one day, so it's a 10. It's a 11.5 from me.
Exactly. We filmed 3 cars. 2 of them are my bucket list vehicles. It's like, what more could I ask for? Best weekend ever.
I'm not the well. I don't watch anime, so this car might be cool, but then it's not as cool to me, unfortunately. I like supercars. I like sports cars. I'm not the biggest fan of JDM, so that's that.
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Throttle Talk and our friendship.
Well, we always got Steve.